cover Muskoka, Ontario than somebody who actually lives here and works for the Muskoka Tourism Board. I am so delighted today because I get my very own tour guide, which means that you get your very own tour guide. With me today is Muskoka Tourism's marketing manager, Katie O'Hearn. Now I'm just waiting for Katie to, there you are. Welcome to Star Foodies.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having us. And first of all, Muskoka is beautiful. I've only discovered it for the last few hours. This looks like a picture behind me. Tell everybody where we are.
We're at Huckleberry Rock in Milford Bay. This is Lake Muskoka right here with a gorgeous view. And you just wish you could hang that in your living room.
Yeah, you read my mind, Katie. So you told me earlier there's a lot to discover.
Yes.
Are you ready to show me around?
I am ready.
Okay, let's go. I am on top of the world. Katie, thank you so much for bringing me here. So what is this that we're on right now?
We are literally on Huckleberry Rock.
And it was quite a climb to get here, a little bit of a workout, but I'm so happy that you told me about this. So we started at the bottom of the hill. Yep. I guess you would call that. So how much of a trail is this kilometer-wise?
I'd say about just over a kilometer to get to the top here. And then you go back down the same route. So
okay.
About a kilometer and a half to 2 kilometers.
So is this a popular, so this is the Huckleberry Rock Trail, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a popular trail. But the nice thing is it's so spaced out, so even if it is fairly busy, you actually don't see many people as you're climbing it. So you get a lot of nice privacy, and it's really enjoyable to have your own space in nature.
I can definitely attest to that. We saw just a few people here, and you told me, I asked you about the animals. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see any animals. But once in a while, we do see some animals on this trail. Tell us about that.
Muskoka is known for some incredible wildlife. Nature goers sometimes get the chance to see moose and bear and deer and catch a glimpse of them in the natural habitat.
I'm looking forward to that because you did tell me that they're not the scary bears.
Right. They're black bears in this region, which are the least dangerous. You still want to keep a safe distance. You want to stay away from animals, respect their privacy in nature. But luckily they're the black bears, which are very afraid of humans. So.
Okay, that makes me feel a little safer. Yeah. So before I came here with you and met you today, and thank you for the hospitality, it's been so amazing, I didn't know much about Muskoka. So tell us about it. Is it a region? I know it's not a province.
Right. So Muskoka is a region filled with different towns and little communities that all have their own charm within it. So once you enter into Muskoka, we go from southeast Sturgeon Bay up to part of Algonquin Park. So you enter, there's Gravenhurst and Bracebridge and Huntsville that are all really charming towns, fantastic for shopping. Okay. And then there's Dwight and Baysville, Lake of Bays area, Muskoka Lakes, that just have incredible bakeries and fun local shops to go to and incredible trails around the region that just take your breath away.
I mean, I'm totally breathless up here, but at the same time, I have the best oxygen I think I've had since last season when I was filming overseas. So everything is so crisp, and I feel like I can even think clearer.
It's clean air. It feels nice. It's nice to get back to nature. You notice a difference, like the air quality. You're surrounded by trees. You're just.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So besides all this beautiful nature, we can actually do activities, which is something that I love to do. So for people that want to come up here for the weekend, get away, even for a vacation, like what can we expect activity-wise here?
So the nice thing about Muskoka is there's lots of activities no matter what you're looking for. Whether you're looking for a spa experience in a beautiful resort, to stand-up paddleboarding and the many lakes around Muskoka, canoeing and kayaking, and it's actually a 4-season destination. So in the winter there's snowmobiling and ice fishing and ice climbing, and so it really covers all the bases no matter what you're looking for when you come here. All the different age groups and people that have different interests, whether you would like to go wine tasting or on a cranberry tour or go to different maple producers. Like there's something for absolutely everyone, all ages, so many different activities.
And that's probably why it's become such a celebrity haven, but you would never guess. It was something we were talking about earlier. you can come here and get away and wouldn't notice it.
Exactly.
So you caught one of my favorite things. I actually caught in what you were saying, food.
Yeah.
So, you know, Star Foodies, I always end up talking about food. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of your recipes too. But tell us here about the culinary wonders of Muskoka and what we can discover if we come here.
Muskoka is really well known for the culinary. We have Savor Muskoka, which is a bunch of different restaurants throughout Muskoka that you can go and travel to different communities, experience the small town charm while getting fine dining, and different bakeries with a bunch of different options. And we have 2 routes that we do. We have a maple trail, which is at the beginning of the year, and a cranberry trail, which is at the end of the year in the fall. And then there's 2 culinary experiences. With the maple trail, you get to go to different maple stops that local communities have created to try different local maple products. And then cranberries, same thing in the fall season when the cranberry harvest is on.
Right, and then you've got this amazing farmers market.
Yes.
That's seasonal. So tell us a bit about that too.
There's farmers markets in different towns throughout Muskoka on different days. Gravenhurst that we'll be visiting is on Wednesday.
Right.
Every Wednesday throughout the summer, starting in June till about October.
Nothing you've ever tried once you go local, right? And Muskoka is all about staying local, right? That's like part of what you guys really want to promote. So you mentioned farmers market and food, and I'm going to bring you back there because being the marketing manager here at Muskoka, I'm sure you use local produce.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
fresh.
I'd love for you to recommend a recipe that I can head back to my kitchen and make using maybe one of your favorite local products.
So my absolute go-to is called a brie bomb, which is a pastry in a muffin tray, chunk of brie, and local cranberries, and you put that into the oven to bake. And it's a crowd pleaser.
I love to bake too. Like, I'm going to bring this back to a chef, but I might try and make this at home myself too because it sounds amazing. And I don't think it'll be that hard.
It's actually very simple.
Really
it's
simple.
3 products, and easy to make. It's fast, and people really enjoy it. So it's an easy go-to if you have a crowd coming.
And you also mentioned the cranberries. So that's something actually known, like in Muskoka, about the amazing cranberries. Is that something because of the just beautiful nature here that you get them?
Yeah, so Muskoka Lakes Farm and Winery, they make their own cranberries, and people come from all over to try the cranberries, do the cranberry dip in the marsh, and enjoy the cranberry festival, jump on the cranberry route that we discuss with different stops around Muskoka.
Right.
So it's a very famous product here, and it's absolutely delicious when it's local and fresh.
So for those who want to discover more of Muskoka, and your tagline is literally Discover Muskoka, right? So from anywhere around the world, where should we go?
So we have a website with lots of information if you're looking to travel to Muskoka, of where to stay, things to do. It's discovermuskoka.ca. And you can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook, Discover Muskoka or Muskoka Tourism on Facebook. And those give you lots of different pictures and insights and blogs posted as to what's going on, what events are happening, and what you can do while you're here and where to go.
Okay, so I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to see you again in my future because I cannot get enough of this view.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much, and thank you for, honestly, the beautiful hospitality. Everybody here has been so nice. So I think this is a perfect weekend getaway, Katie. But for now, I got to get back to my kitchen. Again today because I see some beautiful fruit. We
Yes.
got this recipe from Muskoka.
Yep.
I know we did our humble pie together.
We did, which came out beautifully.
Yeah, thank you so much, Katie O'Hearn and everybody at Humble Pie in Muskoka. Man, that was a big hit. So I thought, you're the chef to remake
I appreciate that.
Katie's Brie Bomb.
Awesome.
I've never heard of this before until I met Katie in Muskoka, so cranberries are a huge thing.
Yeah, and it works perfectly with the brie. So it's just like a perfect pairing. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of puff pastry.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cut this up, and we've got a mini cupcake pan.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna cut this up. And the big thing with puff pastry is you don't want it to get too warm,
Okay.
because then it's tough to work with. But it is pretty forgiving though, which
Okay,
is nice.
great.
So I'm just gonna chop these guys up into squares, and then we're gonna fold them into our pan.
Okay. So a Brie Bomb, chef, essentially is like a pastry with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've got a cranberry compote that I made.
I love the fact you get so creative and you put your own twist on it. So is this it right here?
That's it. So I macerated the cranberries with a little bit of Madeira, which is like a port.
Oh, beautiful.
And so I'm going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to spray this just a little bit.
It's a good tip so it doesn't stick, right?
Well, a lot of times you don't need to with puff pastry, but this guy's a little bit dry, so I just want to make sure that it releases properly. So we're just going to start to fold this in.
Ωραία. Λοιπόν, βάζουμε το ζυμάρι μέσα. I'm just telling everyone at home that this is the puff pastry we put in the pan, but could you make your own?
Oh, you totally could,
Okay.
but I'm not going to.
Remember Babsha Anastasia's rolling pin?
Absolutely. I mean, she would, but I think she would also understand in busy days requires a little bit of a cheat.
Of course.
And you can find this pretty much anywhere, which is great. So it's
And it tastes
easy.
delicious, right?
It does,
Okay.
of course. Well, especially with the cranberries. So I'm actually going to be doing two different ones today with you.
Okay.
So the first one that we're going to be doing is with brie, strawberries, and the cranberry compote.
Okay.
And then the second one is actually with the dolce gorgonzola, blackberries, and cranberry.
Dolce Gorgonzola,
Which
fancy
is a nice
cheese.
Yeah, it's a nice creamy blue cheese from Italy.
Now, do you want these crispy on the end? Should we make them fancy?
You can totally do
Oh, they're
that.
nice and soft. So basically, you taught me last time, we buy the puff pastry, μπορούμε να φτιάξουμε το δικό μας φύλλο ή πάμε στο supermarket και το αγοράζουμε, and then we just leave it out. We don't want it to get too soft
That's right.
in here.
Otherwise
Make
it gets
pretty.
too gummy.
Well, I gotta tell you, I grew up watching Martha Stewart, and she used to put the fork around.
Well, funny you should say that, because you're going to start forking the bottom so it doesn't puff.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
to work. Come on.
So just in there?
Yeah, just give it like a nice little fork in there.
Oh.
That way the bottom doesn't puff out, and then all the cheese goes all over the place,
Bravo.
which we don't want.
Beautiful tip. Βάζουμε το πυρούνι μας εδώ να κάνουμε τρυπούλες. Okay, following your instructions.
Beautiful.
Now you're cutting up this cheese. So listen, one of my favorite Netflix shows is Emily in Paris. It's all about the brie.
Yes.
Brie is generally like French cheese. Right?
It is, and it's beautiful. So this is a double cream brie. You can also get triple cream.
Bravo.
And it's just got that great consistency, and you can just drop it in there.
Is this high in fat?
It's not low in fat.
Okay. You know, I always ask that because sometimes people like to use a lighter alternative, but for this one, we're going all out for Katie.
We are,
In Muskoka,
absolutely.
okay.
So we've got our brie in there, and then I'm just going to add in the dolce gorgonzola. Good job on the forking.
Thank you. And look, I'm getting extra brownie points. I'm even doing this for the outside because I want it to look like a cute
Little
cupcake.
cute. Oh, I appreciate that.
So, of course, if you haven't been to beautiful Muskoka, there is something to do all year round, and there is a beautiful cranberry marsh. That's why we've talked about cranberries so much on the show whenever we've done a recipe from Muskoka. And cranberries are seasonal, though. We talked about this too, right? You've got to get them in the right season.
Absolutely. And so by adding in a little bit of Madeira on there, it just kind of breaks down the skin, and it's easy to blend up, and it just tastes awesome.
Okay.
So now we are going to spoon on, and you can start spooning on that cranberry compote onto
okay.
all of them. So just a little bit. And there we go.
Just like all
that looks
like
gorgeous.
That? Oh, your stuff always looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
Okay. So this, you have to put this in the oven, like you bake it?
Yeah, so we're going to be baking at 375 for about 20 minutes.
What happens to
And
the fruit when you bake it?
it just gets nice and warm and ooey gooey and mixes up with the cheese, and it's awesome.
Wow. I had
Look
no
at that.
idea. I learned so much from Muskoka and from Chef Jeremy. Para polera, you know what? this is impressive. People come over.
It's super easy, and the great thing is that if the fruit does spill it a little bit, it caramelizes against the pan and it makes a nice little addition.
A little bit outside.
Hey, you know what? As my grandmother said, there are no mistakes in the kitchen.
Oh, no mistakes in the kitchen. So let me ask you, would you ever add any extra sugar on here or anything?
It is sweet enough, just like you.
Oh, ευχαριστώ πολύ. Καλά.
Kala.
I got to learn you a few more words.
Absolutely.
Okay. You
So
want to
there
try
we go.
one?
That's perfect.
Let's do our lesson right now.
Sure.
Παρακαλώ.
Kala.
I think this is a great time to go to commercial break. What do
Absolutely.
you think? So while we're heading to commercial break, we're going to put this in the oven. How long?
20 minutes.
How hot?
At 375, and then it should be good.
Okay, we're switching places. I have to try one.
Yeah, for sure. They're great.
From Muskoka?
The blackberries, I have no idea where they're from. They're from the St. Lawrence market.
I was just having a snack waiting for you to come in. So these look amazing.
Thank you. Nice
Okay.
and rustic and beautiful.
Okay.
So we'll start to put these out.
Okay, can't wait.
Let's do it. So I'm gonna put out the blackberry ones.
Okay.
And you can see the dark crispiness. This is actually the fruit caramelizing. And so it looks awesome. We want that nice little bit of crust on there.
I have to give everybody a close up here how beautiful this is. So chef, what was the total cook time?
It was about 22 minutes.
Okay, beautiful.
So we are good. I mean, basically, what you want to make sure is that the bottom is nicely crisp.
It is, and everybody, it was easy to hold in my hand. So I was really surprised that it formed really well.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Pretty.
And well, these little cups make it nice and easy. So now we're gonna drizzle these guys.
Okay.
So we have some cool little garnishes.
Okay.
Because we're not done yet.
Okay. So what did you choose for garnish?
So here we go. We've got a chili honey, which is gonna go over top of the blackberry and blue cheese.
With his, you're always trying to burn
And
me.
it
So
also goes great with cranberries.
Okay.
And then I've got a little bit of blue cheese salt from Vancouver Island.
Okay.
And you might think salt, but salt against brie is really nice and it brings out some great flavor. So we're just going to sprinkle this on
I also
top.
have learned over the years from baking that salt and the sweet go really well together.
Mhm, absolutely, it gets that nice umami flavor.
Okay.
And there we go. Here are our nice brie bombs.
I have to say thank you so much for this recipe. Katie O'Hearn from Muskoka, everybody at the Muskoka Tourism Board. Thank you so much, Chef Jeremy, for this wonderful recipe.